This show is for women who train harder, think bigger, and live bolder. Here, we don't level up. We set the standard. Strength, strategy, success. I'm Katie Fleece. Welcome to The Smoke Show. What's up, Smoke Shows? Welcome back to the show. Look, today's episode is for every woman who's been quietly crushing it, but feels like she needs to apologize for taking up space. So if you've ever dimmed your light because of criticism or stayed quiet about your wins or maybe felt lonely at the top, this one's for you. We're going to talk about why haters are inevitable when you shine, how to stop shrinking to make others feel comfortable, and why the solution to feeling isolated isn't being more humble, it's being more heard. All right, so let's get into it. So here's the thing that nobody tells you about building something incredible. It's this: success can seem extremely lonely. Success can be isolating. Your circle tends to shrink, your time gets eaten alive, and you become the one that everyone looks to, but no one ever checks in on. All right. But here's the kicker. The more successful you become, the more projections come flying your way. Whether that's, nasty DMs or comments, criticism that makes you second guess posting about your wins or whatever it may be. But here's what I need you to understand. If you're visible, you're vulnerable, but also very, very powerful. And the people that are trying to tear you down, they are just proving that you're doing something right. I know when I get these comments tell me everything about the person writing them and absolutely nothing about me. And they should do the same for you. They should tell you nothing. They're not a reflection of you. They're showing me their pain, their limitations, and their inability to celebrate other people's successes. And you know what's wild? Women, in fact, somebody just said this to me the other day. She said, "This is exactly why I'm afraid to put myself out there." I'm sorry. Afraid of what? Like, you're afraid of, you're going to let Karen, who has a profile picture of a cat, with 3 followers, you're going to let her stop you from building the life that you want? It's insane, right? It's like when we put it like that, it sounds so silly, but in reality, that's what you're doing, okay? Because you become a mirror for their insecurities. Your confidence reflects back everything that they're not allowing themselves to be. And your success highlights everything that they're not willing to work for. And here's the thing, they don't actually hate you. They hate what they've denied in themselves. They hate that you're doing what they're too scared to do. They hate that you're visible while they are still hiding. And here's the thing about projection. It's just pain looking for somewhere else to land. The other day, I actually had a lady, she made a comment. I don't know. She made a comment, I think it was about my face. But then 2 days later, she actually sent me an Instagram message and she said, "Hey, you know what? I apologize for that comment." And she proved my point. She proved what I just said. She said, "That was really, really mean of me to say. It's not true. And I just want you to know that I was actually having a really bad day and I was projecting onto you from something that happened in my marriage." And I'm like, you know what? First of all, I commend her for reaching out because that takes some balls to admit, but it proves everything that I just said. All right, moving on. You're not too much, you're too quiet. And this is where a lot of women get it backwards because so many of you have been trained to believe that being humble is a virtue, that speaking up or owning your greatness is just bragging. But it's actually keeping you invisible. You actually don't need to tone it down like you think you do, okay? You actually need to turn it up. Women are told from a very young age to be smaller, don't be too loud, too opinionated, too confident. And then what happens is you start to internalize it. And before you realize it, you are shrinking. You're becoming that. You're apologizing when you should be leading. And then you wonder why you feel stuck, why you feel unseen, why you feel misunderstood. It's not because you're too much. It's because you're too quiet about the woman that you actually are. Now, I'm not here to win everybody over. I'm not here to be liked by people who were never going to support me anyway. I'm here to serve the women who are ready to change their lives. And that right there is exactly the energy that you need too. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. So here's how you handle criticism like a pro, all right? First of all, you do not owe strangers your time and your energy. You do not water yourself down to stay likable. I've been there. I've done that. There was a season in my life where that's all I cared about. I just wanted to be liked. And let me tell you, that was a hard season. I wasn't my authentic self, and it sucked. All right? Begging for approval is the fastest way to dilute your power. If you need everyone to clap for you, it's literally like you might as well be performing in a circus, okay? But when you start shining brighter, the shadows get louder. The haters get louder. The critics, it seems like they're coming out of the woodwork, right? But that's not a sign to dim your light. That's a sign that you're finally becoming visible. So congratulations, all right? That criticism isn't proof that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you're actually doing something that matters. It's proof that you're doing something that matters. Hey, it's Katie Fleece, head of the female division at Superhuman and your host here on Smoke Show. Listen, if you've been waiting for a sign to go after your strongest, fittest, hottest body, this is it. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need anyone else's permission. It's time to claim the body and the life you deserve. Go to smokeshowbody.com and take the first step toward building the ultimate version of you. Now back to the show. And the same visibility that attracts haters, guess what it also does? It also attracts ideal clients, your ideal circle, your ideal people. The same confidence that triggers insecure people also inspires the right people. The same success that makes some people bitter also makes other people believe what's actually possible. So you get to choose. You get to choose what you focus your energy on. You can spend your time trying to defend every attack, or you can spend your time focusing on women who are cheering you on, want to see you win, focusing on the people that are investing in your programs, the people that are cheering from you from the sidelines. And you can focus on changing their lives because you are putting that kind of energy out into the world, and you know that what you put out, you get back. So how do you find your people at the top? So again, like I said in the beginning, if you're one of those people where you're like, yeah, on paper, I made it, but I don't have a good support system around me. First of all, I want to say this. You weren't meant to lead alone, okay? You weren't meant to rise in silence. So what do if you feel like that's exactly what you've done? My first piece of advice would be to be who you're looking for. Start showing up like the high caliber woman you are. Share your thoughts. Talk about what you're building. Be visible. Be vocal. Because I will say this, and this is something that I know to be true just in my own experience. High achieving women, they watch quietly before they connect. So if they see you showing up with honesty, with confidence, they're going to find you. They're going to connect with that. Also, by the way, we are living in one of the most amazing times right now. Use the internet intentionally. You can engage with women from all over the world without ever meeting them. You are literally one DM away from your next power connection, right? That's exactly why I am sitting in this chair today. That's another story for a different time. It was because of one Instagram DM. Events are a great way to meet people. Networking, all right? Act like you belong there because you do. You belong there. Take it from me. You are allowed to focus on people who celebrate you instead of focusing on people that are tolerating you. You're allowed to be polarizing. You're allowed to not be everybody's cup of tea. And most importantly, you're allowed to be unbothered by people who just simply aren't your people. At the end of the day, like I said, visibility comes with criticism. That's just part of the territory. But that's also the cost of impact. So if you don't want to do anything spectacular with your life, if you don't want to hear from the critics, then don't do anything spectacular with your life, okay? You didn't work this hard just to let some random person on the internet ruin your day. You didn't overcome your own limitations just to be limited by someone else's limitations, okay? Their opinion of you is not your reality. Period. End of story. All right. Some people, they're going to be inspired by you. Others, not so much. They might complain about it. They might leave the comment. They might send the shady DM. Let them. Isn't that what Mel Robbins says, right? Let them. Period. End of story. All right. Some people, they're going to be inspired by you. Others, not so much. They might complain about it. They might leave the comment. They might send the shady DM. Let them. Isn't that what Mel Robbins says, right? Let them. Focus on the people who want to learn how to win too. And then just, delete the rest. Okay? The women who are meant to find you are looking for someone confident enough to ignore the critics and make bold moves, okay? Make moves to where they keep building. They keep building anyway, regardless of what everybody else's opinion is, okay? They're looking for someone exactly like you. So this is your permission slip to stop playing small. Stop apologizing for your ambition. Stop hiding. You need to be heard. Because ladies, you know what show this is? The smoke show. And we're smoke shows, all right? And smoke shows don't dim their light for anyone. Hey, thanks for joining me today. As always, let me know if you listened to this episode and what you thought about it. I love hearing from you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay strong, stay strategic, stay unapologetic. This is Smoke Show.